Hey guys, this is going to be a tutorial on the slip cut, which looks a little something like this. Okay, it's kind of a false cut. It's used for a lot more than just cutting, just simply like that. It's used for a lot more than just that, but I do utilize it quite a bit in my some of my routines and stuff. So let's just kind of show you a little demonstration of some way I would use it. I would say, okay, have this spectator, pick a card, and your card is really going to go back into the deck. Well, hold on, I'm sorry, forgive me for that. My hands are a little bit shaky today. Pick some random card, okay, and what we're going to do is we'll have your card just lost in the deck. I'll give the deck just a couple cuts and one last cut, just like so, and your card is controlled to the top. Now, in the middle of that, what I did was a Herman pass, which is something I will cover in a much later tutorial. It's a very difficult move, but essentially it looks something like this. I'll leave the card face up. 7 of hearts. 7 of hearts is back on top. I've taken videos of myself doing this, but I'm not going to post any of them for quite some time because it's a very advanced move. But I did use the Herman pass in the midst of that, so don't think you can have the spectator pick a card, go back, and do some slip cuts and get it up to the top, because it doesn't work like that. Anyways, the deck that I'm using today, I've used in a previous video, but it's the Sultan Republic deck by Illusionist. So, anyways, basically what the slip cut does is it maintains the top card. Okay, so in this case, the top card is a 7 of hearts. What I like to do personally, if I'm performing close up, if someone's looking at me from a table close up, like I would say within 3 to 4 feet of me, I don't do this. But what I prefer to do is to make it just a tad bit easier, and this is not technically a slip cut, what I'm about to show you, so don't get it confused. I'll show you an actual slip cut, but what I kind of like to do, which is pretty much like a slip cut, is pull some cards from the center of the deck, table them, and throw it on top. Okay, so at speed it looks, well, if I didn't grab it with the right hand, at speed it looks pretty legit. I mean, it looks like a pretty real shuffle. Okay, but what a slip cut actually is taking cutting the bottom half of the deck away, or I'm sorry, the top half, and like cutting the bottom half away from you. You see, that's the bottom half of the deck. Okay, so you're cutting the bottom half away, like forward, or even to the side, but away from you in some fashion. Okay, and what you're doing is you're doing that, and at the same time you're using your index finger here to just peel off the top card on top of it and then throw it back on top. It's kind of like a false shuffle. So I mean, at speed it looks, you really can't tell the difference between pulling some from the center and then just pulling some from the bottom. So that's actually what you're doing there. And when you do it fast enough, like if I flipped over the top card, well, and I don't flip a ton of cards, if you don't do it, if you don't pull it out quickly, then it doesn't work correctly. But King of Spades on top, when you do it correctly and at speed, it's really quite hard to discern what's actually going on. But the entire time that card never changes positions. So yeah, that's the slip cut. And once again, you just want to pry off the bottom portion of the deck, just like so, and cut it away from you. And as you're doing that, you use the pad of your index finger here to just peel the top card with it. And it doesn't matter if it looks like that, if it looks a little crazy, because you're going to throw it on top and square it up, okay? So if you'll notice, after every time I do it, I come back and hit it with that number, because that just completes it. And like I said, the King of Spades is maintained the entire time. Now, what I did, just to reiterate and be very, very clear, because I don't want you to try to go do the slip cut after, you know, turning over a card in the center and try to do the slip cut and expecting it to work. I did a different move, which is called the Herman Pass, which I will do a tutorial on later, but it looks something like that, okay? And you may have caught a glimpse of what actually happened, but that you cannot use the slip cut to flip over a card in the center of the deck and, like I showed earlier, give a couple slip cuts and expect to cut the card to the top. Okay, it is not going to work. Mainly, and the obvious reason why it doesn't work is because it doesn't do that because the entire time the top card will never change because of the fashion of the slip cut and how it operates. Okay, so I just want to be very clear on that so you don't try to go perform this or something with a misunderstanding of what's going on. But I'm just doing slip cut after slip cut, just like so. And you want to, like I said, you don't want to grab too many cards, but okay. So that is the slip cut. Utilize it to maintain a card. You can utilize it in cheating. Utilize it for whatever you need. It's a very, very important move. Thanks for watching Spade Chase.